Well, just what we just saw earlier on, just you can see that was another Robertson R44 we just seen come over anyway. That was another Robertson R44 that we just seen come over this time anyway. But obviously this is the other Robertson R44, the previous helicopter that I remember seeing last time ago anyway. This was another Robertson R44 that we just seen anyway. This was another Robertson R44 that we just seen. Which, as you can see, the registration is G-JGAR, I think it was. Oh yes, there he is, look, he's just literally just on ADXB anyway. As you can see, that was another Robertson R44 anyway. Obviously this one here, this is the one that's based in Truro Airfield, that one anyway. Technically this is the one that's based in Truro Airfield anyway. So this is another Robertson R44 they've just seen anyway. This is the Robertson R44 Revan, that is anyway. Which technically this is the one that's based in Truro Airfield anyway. So yeah, as you can see here though, this is where he's just done a very high pass anyway, just over on the just on the southern west coast anyway. As you can see, he's just been flying over on the south coast anyway. Obviously it's somewhere around that area anyway. He's currently just been flying just over on the where is it, by the looks of it, he's just been flying over on the west coast anyway. So yeah, this is where he's been to anyway. He's just been flying over just on the west coast anyway. So yeah, it looks as if we're kind of back to this one again anyway. The G-JGAR it is anyway, which is the Robertson R44 anyway. As you can see here, look, I don't know what he's doing anyway, but he seems to be doing a very low pass over somewhere in Devon by the looks of it. So yeah, but like compared to what we saw earlier on, we only saw the full pairs of the Robertson R44 earlier on apparently though. Which I think the registration I do remember is GDENY, and I think the other one that literally overhead past me, but I couldn't remember the other registration. But I do remember the other registration I remember seeing is, which is the third one I do remember seeing is GFOFO, it was. And then the other one is the GNELS, that was anyway, that was the other Robertson R44 anyway, where was the other one, it was just the other one anyway. So yeah, that was the other Robertson R44 that we just seen anyway. Which that one I remember seeing a long time ago anyway. So yeah. And then also there was 2 times of the Bell 206 Jake Ranger as well, which that one we've seen anyone, which that registration I do remember is GREMH, I think it was. And then the other one, I think the one we saw from very far distance, I think it was GTOYZ, I think it was. I think that was the other registration that I remember seeing anyway. I think that was the other registration. Apparently I think that was the other registration anyway. So yeah, if I go to Plane Fighter, I think the Robertson R44 should be on there really anyway. I think the registration was G-JGAR, I think it was. However it was anyway. Yeah, that one. Yeah, this was actually, yeah, this was the time that I took off from Newquay Airport anyway. So yeah, that went from Truro Airfield and then into Newquay Airport anyway. And then after that, it just went on the north coast anyway, and then just passed over the west anyway. And for some reason, he's just came here for. Probably some sort of fly pass anyway. But you know, which as you can see, as you can see, like just Derby, he was around 2,000 feet anyway, and then dropped down as he was about probably, so I say 10,000 feet, should I say though. So yeah, it is so weird today that we've seen so many helicopters here today though, especially including the Drake and Europe aviation services that we saw earlier on anyway. Especially today, we've seen so many helicopters here. There's been so many helicopters here today though, apparently, which is, I don't understand why though. I don't understand why there's been so many of helicopters here today though. I just don't understand why though. So yeah, looks as if today there's been so many helicopters that we've seen today. Especially we saw the Robertson R44s and the 2 Bell Jet Ranger, well, the 2 Bell 206 Jet Rangers and the Cornwall Air Ambulance that we saw earlier on as well. Which the other one we saw earlier on, that was the Cornwall Air Ambulance that we've seen earlier on, apparently. Which the Cornwall Air Ambulance A1169, which apparently she's back in Cornwall anyway. Apparently because of the Cornwall Air Ambulance A1169, the one we saw earlier on, that's just back in Cornwall anyway. Because for some reason he's now back in Cornwall anyway, back in action now apparently. Especially because of the Cornwall Air Ambulance, he's now back in Cornwall anyway. So yeah, especially because with the other Cornwall Air Ambulance, which is the AW109 SP helicopter, which is the backup helicopter, but obviously, unfortunately to say, he's now over at Liskeard Heliport at the moment. That's why, because of the A1169 Cornwall Air Ambulance is the one he's using at the moment. But obviously, you know, it's currently flying at the moment anyway. But you know, this is why, because of the other Cornwall Air Ambulance, which is the AW169, which this is basically the Cornwall's home-based nuclear helicopter anyway. So yeah, which technically that was the one we saw earlier on apparently though, which was the Cornwall Air Ambulance AW169 anyway. Which basically that was the one we saw earlier on anyway. But especially now because she's back in Cornwall anyway. Obviously now because she's back in Cornwall into his flying mission anyway. So yeah, it's now back in Cornwall for his flying mission anyway. So yeah. It's been a while. It's been a very long time since I've not filmed the Cornwall Air Ambulance A1169 this year though. I think it's because of this year I haven't filmed the Cornwall Air Ambulance A1169 this year though. It's because I haven't filmed it much this year though. Because I know the fact, because of this year I've only filmed the AW109 SP Cornwall Air Ambulance this year though. Which I think the Cornwall Air Ambulance AW109 is the one I filmed more of it this year though. So yeah, which technically I have been filming the Cornwall Air, I think, because basically most of the time in here and over the South Cornwall, I've been filming the Cornwall Air Ambulance AW109 SP apparently, which that one I have been filming on most of the time anyway. Which that one I've been filming most of the time more than the AW169 apparently. Because the Cornwall Air Ambulance, which is the AW169, which that one I haven't filmed much this year though. But I remember last year I have filmed the Cornwall Air Ambulance AW169 last year ago though. Which I remember I filmed one last year ago anyway. Last year, so I have filmed so many videos of the Cornwall Air Ambulance A1169 anyway, but it's just because of this year I haven't filmed it anyway. It's just recently, I haven't filmed it much this year though, I just don't know why. Don't know why I haven't filmed it much this year though, which is a bit of a... which is currently, you know... so yeah, which is currently a bit... strange really though, to be fair. So yeah. But anyway, as you can tell, as you can see, I think the Robson R44 is probably now going back to his base at True Airfield, I believe now anyway, now heading back to his base at True Airfield now anyway, now going back to his spot, I believe anyway. So yeah. Okay, so, yep, thanks for watching, bye bye.